What is up, guys? It's your boy Swell. I'm here, back with another Classic WoW video for Cataclysm Classic and Mists of Pandaria Classic. And a couple of questions I've been getting recently is how to make gold, either in Cataclysm or during the early Mists of Pandaria, to make some gold in this transition. So today I want to cover some gold farms you can do in Cataclysm at the moment that will also be good in Mists of Pandaria. So whether you are currently struggling to make gold or half a year from now, or even a year from now as well, these farms will very likely be good. Now for the purpose of that, we are focusing on old content, but we're focusing on old content with high sell rates and high values. So going back to Classic WoW, TBC, and even Wrath. So you can go back and farm some old content and make a lot of gold while doing so. Now there are multiple other farms than the ones that are covered in this video, so you have a lot of different ways to make gold. Even having something like a paladin or a mage and farming Frostweave Cloth in Wrath of the Lich King in certain dungeons can be very good and make you a lot of gold, especially if combined with a battle pet farm or transmog farming as well. Likewise, being a paladin or anyone really, a DK or tanks specifically, you can solo farm TBC dungeons and get both transmog items and the cloth, greens, even like mining and herbalism, and make a lot of gold in literally farming TBC dungeons. I have made a lot of gold from doing mana tombs farming, for example, and also the Magister's Terrace, myself on a DK and on my paladin. So like if you have a geared DK or paladin, you can make a lot of gold by doing that. Either way, let's get into it and showcase some gold farms here, where I also want to talk about the values of those items. So first off, we have this one right here. This is going to be a Mote of Air farm, and Mote of Air, so you can actually you can combine them and turn them into Primal Air. Now, this is a TBC Primal. It's like one of the essences we had in the Burning Crusade, and these still sell for a lot of gold. If we go here, for example, you search up Primal Air at the moment, these are selling for 200 gold, and that is the regular market value. If I hover over this, you can see that they have been up to 400 gold, and they have a market value of 183, and a region market value average of 122. Now, at the moment, you can see here 200 gold, and that is the current market value on my server for Primal Air. So you can make a lot of gold by simply farming Primal Air. So this right here is location number 1, where you can go to Nagrand and farm Primal Air, and if this location is not good enough or it's taken by somebody else, you can try out this location right here, where you have 2 separate locations. I guess technically 4, but for example the squares in the north there, that should be 1 farm. So just fly in both of these 2 squares, kill every mob you can, or go to the southern part where you have the circles, and once again you have 2 separate circles that kind of overlap, and just fly in both of them and kill any elementals that you see. And by doing this, you will get Mote of Air, which you can turn into Primal Air, and you can get some pretty valuable Burning Crusade transmog items at the same time. Next up, you also have this farm right here. This is one that I've been doing quite a lot myself whenever I need to farm gold in Cataclysm, which isn't really that often, but if I ever feel like farming, this is usually my go-to. Now, this can be done by any class, but I prefer having a tank that can pull basically the entire dungeon, or pull as much as possible in one big pull, and then loot absolutely everything. Or just something that can kill with AoE abilities very fast. So once again, any tank out there can farm this very effectively, and I'm just going to say you want to have enchanting here, because a lot of your gold will actually come from large brilliant shards, and then you also have the righteous orbs. Now these 2 materials, both of them are used in the Crusader enchant, and large brilliant shards is also used in, for example, the healing power or the spell power enchants as well. So looking at the prices here, you for example have righteous orbs right here, and they're currently selling for anywhere between 17 gold and 30 gold on my server. And the thing is, whenever they are this cheap, I usually buy out all of them, and I usually buy all of them up to 25 gold and keep that price. So anything over 25 gold is usually when I would farm them and then possibly sell them, and then when the price goes below 25 gold, that is when I buy all of them, so I don't have to farm. And likewise, we also have large brilliant shards. Let me just show you the price of those. On the auction house at the moment, they are 17 gold, and here you can see the market value is almost 200%, which means the usual price is closer to 9 gold per shard. Now, in a case like this, you might want to farm those yourself instead of buying them on the auction house, in which case Stratholme is a very good farm, because not only are you getting the large billion shards, you're also getting righteous orbs, and once again, both of these are used in the Crusader enchant. And if I just look at this right now, we can go to enchanting, we can go to, if I go to enchanting, we use TSM, I can then go to Crusader. This one is currently 50 gold profit if I make the Crusader enchant. So if you have enchanting on a character with high enough skill, and you don't have the recipe yet, you can buy the Crusader recipe and make profit, so you make even more gold by turning these materials you just farmed for into the enchant and then sell that enchant. Likewise, we also have the spell power enchant here, I believe, enchant weapon spell power. This one uses 4 large billion shards, 6 great returnal essences, and 2 golden pearls, and you can see currently we're making 85 gold profit on that craft as well. Next up, we actually have a battle pet farm, so this one is going to be the Tiny Crimson Whelpling, and when it comes to battle pets, they are currently called expansions. Why did I just say expansions? They're called companions at the moment in Cataclysm. In Mists of Pandaria, these becomes battle pets, which means you can now use them and level them up, and you have like a whole Pokemon battle system with battle pets in Mists of Pandaria, making battle pets a brand new thing we haven't had in the past, and you can see a lot of these pets actually going up in price. Now, their price will be determined by usually 2 factors. Number 1, how good of a pet is this pet? And number 2, the rarity of the pet. When it comes to having battle pets, they become collectibles. So if you go to your tab right now in the game itself, right, you can go down here and you have something called a pet journal. When Mists of Pandaria comes out, you can have 3 of every single pet instead of just 1, and you want, like if you're a collector, you want to have 3 of every single pet, which means the rarer the pet is, the more expensive it could end up being, and once again, also depends on how good that pet actually is. Now, these Whelplings are not the best pets, but they're not bad either, and they are quite rare. Like, farming for one of these will take you hours, and they're currently selling for a decent chunk. Going to the auction house right now, we can take a look at all of the different Whelplings at the moment. If I just search up for Whelpling on the auction house right now, this is the Tiny Crimson one we're farming for in this location. And the Tiny Crimson one at the moment is worth 27,000 gold for the Tiny Crimson one. Now, I just said we have more Whelplings that I'm showing you here as well. So the Dark Whelpling, for example, is selling for 19,000 gold, and this one you can farm right here. This is the Badlands farm for the Dark Whelpling. It's my favorite location to farm for Dark Whelplings, and over here you basically never run out of mobs. You can just go from the northern spot and all the way down to the southern spot and just keep on farming. Likewise, you also have the Aesir Whelpling, and this one is actually currently not up on my auction house, so this one could be the rarest one out of them all, and this one can be farmed right here. So Aesir Whelpling, once again, farmable right here in Ashara, so just look for those blue mobs, like the Aesir Dragonkin basically you want to farm for, and then you can get that item. You also have the Tiny Emerald Whelpling. Let me just talk about this one real quick. It's worth 22,000 gold. This one is a little bit more like annoying to farm. It's only really farmable in one place to my knowledge, and that is going to be in the Swamp of Sorrows, all the way down at this lake. So like around this lake is where you farm for that one. It's very annoying to farm for, and arguably like maybe it should be the most expensive one. So why it isn't, I simply don't know. You also have a couple of pets where you can log out and then just log in once every now and then. So for example, this one, the Ravasaur Hatchling in Un'Goro. This is like a semi-rare pet. It will be up once every few hours, and then you can literally grab it. There's no drop rate here. If you're playing on a low pop server, or you are one of the very few people that are doing this strategy, you can guarantee yourself some pets that will be selling for thousands of gold in Mists of Pandaria. And basically, you can see inside the circle, we have 5 different spots. They're basically small dots on the map right now. That is where that nest can be, and it will be up on one of those 5 locations, unless somebody else has actually grabbed it. And here's the thing, we currently have layers, so you can grab this on layer 1, then jump to layer 2, grab it on layer 2, and I've been able to grab 4 of them in one sitting previously, by using layer 1, layer 2, layer 3, and layer 4. So there you go, quite a few different gold farms you can do right now in Cataclysm or in Mists of Pandaria and make a bunch of gold, centered both around dungeon farming like Stratholme, open world farming for materials like Primal Air, and also battle pet farming, because Mists of Pandaria, the big new thing happening is like companions becoming battle pets and you being able to do Pokemon battles with your battle pets. So that's coming and you should take advantage of it. In addition to that, I also just want to say that these old materials are selling. A lot of you guys will probably be talking about this right now, like, are old materials like Primal Air actually selling? And why is things like Crusader selling? Going back to Crusader right here, the enchant here, 48 gold profit, and why is this one selling? You can see I have sold 108 of them, and these have been sold in Cataclysm, and you can see it goes from 95 gold per enchant to 233 gold per enchant, with the average being 145. The main reason why is heirlooms. When it comes to heirlooms, people are constantly buying at least weapon enchants for their heirlooms, so if you're playing a melee character, Crusader is good to have, and also if you're playing a spellcaster, then the spell power one is also good to have, so this one right here, 85 gold profit. Once again, you're probably asking who would ever buy this one. It's once again heirlooms, so people that are leveling a caster usually wants to have this. 30 spell power on your heirloom while leveling from level 1 is a huge boost, and the same thing for a Crusader, huge boost for leveling alts. So for anyone who's struggling to make gold in Cataclysm, or if you want to get prepared for Mists of Pandaria, hopefully this video helps you out, or maybe you're like me and you just love logging in and farming things, in which case, once again, hopefully this video was helpful, and the thing is, farming those battle pets, you don't even need to be level 85. Even if you're level 70, you will likely be one-shotting everything, so if you're like level 70, you haven't bought Cataclysm yet, you can still do this farm. I guess Cataclysm is free, but anyway, like, you don't have to be max level for this, you can start farming if you're doing a leveling on a brand new server. You can start doing many of these farms without even being level 85 and make a decent chunk of gold while doing so. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like down below, and if you want to share additional ways to make gold, then do so in the comments down below as well. As always, thank you for watching, I really do appreciate it, and I'll see you again in the next video very soon.